and welcome to the Mintrain Knits podcast. My name is Caitlin and I'm the host. I would like to welcome back returning viewers and welcome new viewers. Thank you all for checking out my channel. I know there's a lot of knitting podcasts out there, so thank you for taking the time to check out mine. I can be found on Instagram as Mintrain Yarns and on Ravelry as mintrain. All the links to where you can get in touch with me will be in the description box below. Any podcast notes will be in the description box, but also be at my blog on mintrainknitspodcast.com. So it has been a couple weeks since my last podcast. I was really busy with trying to get orders out before the holiday, and then I ended up down with a cold for a couple days, and then Thanksgiving, so there's just been a lot going on, but I do have a lot to show you. So the first thing that not first thing I finished, but at the top of the pile, is I crocheted this stocking. It is out of Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool for the oatmeal color, and then the dark green is the Fisherman's Wool that I had dyed for a sweater that just didn't work out. And then the red is Knit Picks Swish in the Hollyberry. Actually, I still have all the ends to weave in, but this was just an evening project. I am completely blanking on the name of the pattern, but I will link it. But I did modify the pattern. There's on the colored rows, there's supposed to be a crossed stitch pattern, and I wasn't fond of how it was coming out, so I just did a normal double crochet for the color stripes, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm hoping to get one more done so that my fiance and I can have some matching stockings. Then I have lots of socks that I have finished. So this is the first pair. These are a Christmas gift. And my sock blockers are from Crazy Monkey Creations. And they have the sheep cut into them. They had a whole bunch of different ones, but I chose the sheep. And then, so this yarn is from online, the Supersocke. They're 4-ply in the forest color line, and and then it is color number 1908. I don't know if this is still available because I think I got it I got it a couple years ago, and it's just been sitting in my stash, so I don't know if it's still available, but I'm not sure how fast they discontinue their colorways. And this is another Christmas gift. Another pair of Christmas socks for Christmas gifts. Here's the other one. And this one is out of Cascade Heritage Prints in color number 21. That's it. Those are all gifts, but they all are pretty much the same size because it just worked out that way. Then the next few pair are for me to add to my box of Christmas socks. So this is the yarn I got a few weeks ago. It's the Regia Candy Color number 1161, and then I used the Opal Red for the heels and toes. I crank these on my circular sock machine. So these will go into my Christmas socks. And then this is a pair that I actually hand knit. I started these a couple years ago. I had this sock mostly done except for the heel, which is an afterthought heel. This is in my hand-dyed yarn, mintrain hand-dyed yarns, in the Krampus colorway. So that's the first sock. And then on this one, I don't know how long it had been sitting, this is where I was when I picked it back up. So I just had not even half the foot and then the toe to do, and then the heels. So I got these finished in probably 2 evenings worth of work. But I'm glad to have these done. I did these on my Supersocke base, which is definitely one of my favorite bases for socks because it's so squishy, and it just helps keep my feet warm because my feet are always cold in the winter. And then the last pair of socks that I have finished are out of West Yorkshire Spinners in their new Christmas colorway. This is Robin. So here's the other one. But I'm really happy how these turned out. I don't know if, yeah, they'll go into my Christmas box, but I may pull them out so that I can wear them at more times of the year than just Christmas. That is all that I have finished. So in works in progress, I started the Red Flannel Mitts by Alicia Plummer. I got the first one done. And these mitten blockers are from Hornshaw. And what's really neat is the thumb is actually on a one of those little ball connectors. Oh, actually, I put the other one away. So if you do the Scandinavian style mittens where the thumb is in the front, you can reposition where the thumb is on this. But so this is the first one. I knit this out of my hand-dyed yarn in the colorway Bark on my DK base. So, and it has the texture pattern on both sides. And I knit the top ribbing extra long so that it will go to the top of my fingers, so I can flip it up, and it'll basically be like a full mitten, but then I can flip it down if I need to use my fingers. And then the second one, I'm still on the first repeat. I got the first one done in one evening, and then I started the second one, and I put it down because I was just starting to get sick, and I was having trouble keeping up with where I was on the chart. Even though it's only a 10-row repeat, every row is different. So, and then I'm using a Kitchen Counter Crafter project bag. Got this one probably 2 or 3 years ago. I just love it because it's really squishable, because I will throw lots of project bags into a larger bag so that I can take more projects with me wherever I go. My next project, this only got a tiny bit of work on. on the second sock of my Christmas in Whoville socks. So yeah, I only added about an inch, not even a full color repeat. But these hopefully will be done by Christmas, hopefully much sooner. But I actually just have not been in the mood to actually knit on anything. I've been in much more of a crochet mood. So the last week and a half, I have worked almost exclusively on my granny stripe blanket. And I have actually this is my second one. I almost doubled the length that I had on it since when I picked it up last Saturday, so the Saturday before Thanksgiving, I was down here where the stitch marker is. So then I added all of this. I was part of the Indie Dyer Advent last year, where it's just a bunch of indie dyers would send in one colorway and then they'd get back 24 minis. So I got all those added in from last year. So those started at this silver row and went up to this red, white, and green row. So that was a good chunk. And now I am adding in my Advent yarns that I dyed up for my Advent calendar last year. The theme that I dyed was claymation Christmas movies. So I put them all into a giant cake. So the first 8 colorways came from Rudolph. The second 8 came from The Year Without Santa Claus, and then the last 8 came from Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So I have added in Rudolph, Hermie, and I am on Yukon Cornelius. And so the width of my blanket is not quite double my wingspan, but I would say 1.5 my wingspan. So I am just using the granny stripe blanket pattern from Attic 24. And I did my foundation chain at 302 stitches. And I'm using a tulip crochet hook, size 5, so 3mm. And this is my favorite crochet hook for this blanket. I tried another crochet hook and I could not, I couldn't crochet very fast like I normally do. Because I figured out that there was actually a little burr on the hook of the one I was using. But this one, it fits in my hand just right, and I can just crochet really fast with it. So this blanket I actually started almost exactly a year ago. So I don't know, about halfway done right now. So I could probably finish it if I know I won't work on it exclusively, but if I did work on it exclusively, I could probably get it done in 2 months. Not that long, maybe a month. But I just love the granny stripe blankets. And I do have a mitered square blanket going as well. And that one has been going for a long time. I think I started that one in 2009, back when there was only the one mitered square blanket pattern, and it was not wasn't squared. It was where all the squares are on point. So that one, and I'm doing very small squares, so they're only 31 stitches across. But that one I pick up and put down. I'll work on it on and off. It's one that I know will take forever. Probably about a quarter of the way done with that one, and that one's very wide. It will be a nice bed blanket when it's done, if I can keep the dog off the bed. But that is my crochet blanket that I've been working on like crazy. Another project that has gotten a tiny bit of work over the last few weeks is another pair of socks. This is also out of my hand-dyed yarn in the Supersocke base again. So I'm using size 2 needles for this. This is my in peach mint colorway. So there's a dark shade of mint, a dark peach, a lighter stripe of mint, and then a lighter stripe of peach, and then that repeats. So these have been worked on a bit. If I actually work on them, they go pretty quick. I just haven't really been in the mood to knit all that much. So a project that my fiance has been working on is he has been knitting hats like crazy. So this is one that he has been working on. This one is a Christmas gift for his sister. And this is out of my hand-dyed yarn again in the worsted, my superwash worsted base and the plum colorway. This is actually the leftover yarn from my Bradway shawl. So what I do to help him is I cast on and knit the ribbing, and then he knits the whole body, and then I get the decreases set up for him, and then he will do the decreases on the hat. But he still has a little trouble with the transitioning from the circular to the double pointed, but he's only been knitting since April, so the fact that he has really good even tension already has shown a lot of improvement. Every hat that he's done has gotten better, and a lot fewer mistakes for me to help him fix. And then let's see, what did I put in? So I have one other pair of Christmas socks that I have been working on. These I had cranked the tube on my sock machine, so I'm knitting the cuffs, heels, and toes. So this is out of Knitterly Things Gingerbread House, I believe. So this one just needs the heel still. And on this one I am working on the ribbing. So then the waist yarn here is where the toe will go, and the heel will probably go about here. I'm not sure if I want to use the same yarn for the heel yet. I may use the red opal that I used on my candy stripe socks. But I do have a lot of Christmas socks that I had planned on getting done for this year, but I don't know if I actually will. So these are all socks that I've hung the hem, and I just need to add toes and heels too. So this is, so I'll show you the ones that are not out of my yarn. This is out of Lollipop yarn. Like I believe it's the Home for the Holidays colorway. And so the rest of these are all out of my yarn on the Supersocke base. This is Gingerbread House. We Are All Misfits, which is an Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Island of the Misfit Toys inspired colorway. This one is Not My Gumdrop Buttons. And then this one is my Home for the Holidays colorway. And since these are all on sport weight, they won't take long to do. I just need to finish the toes. So that is all that I've been working on. So I did actually I did do an advent calendar this year, but I didn't do a full advent. I just did a 12 days one. And it was Harry Potter inspired. So I thought I'd show you the first 3 colorways since today is December 3rd. So this one is, I did all either quotes or scenes inspired by the Christmas parts of Harry Potter. So this one is based on a quote from Ron called, "What did you expect? Turnips?" And then December 2nd was, "I always get maroon." Or actually, let me double check. Mine's always maroon. And then today's is plum cake. And I had dyed these up in September so that I could get them mailed out before my busy time of the year with all my shows started. So that's why I even forgot some of my own colorways for those, because I haven't looked at them since I packaged them up a couple months ago. So stash enhancement, I've only gotten got 4 skeins of this, but so the Bernat Velvet in the Vapor Gray colorway, I'm going to knit a very just a cozy oversized sweater with this. There's actually so Bernat is owned by Yarnspirations, and I went to their website and I looked at the patterns that were suggested for this yarn, and I found a raglan just cozy sweater with a little bit of positive ease that I will be making with this. Because I used to have a chenille sweater that I absolutely loved, but it doesn't last well for how much I wore it, because I wore it till the chenille under the arms was basically threadbare, and it was just super, super cozy. So for reading, I am reading, I'm almost done with it. It's called Murder by the Book by Lauren Elliott. I'm reading it on Kindle Unlimited. I had a free trial. My trial actually ends tomorrow. So I'm gonna cancel it because I'm not reading Kindle Unlimited books fast enough to really warrant having the subscription currently. But I am really enjoying that book. I have probably 10 pages left, but I just was too tired last night to finish it. I was falling asleep reading. Then the next book I'm going to be reading is an advanced reader copy of Echoes Between Us by Katie McGarry. And this is a young adult novel. I read the first chapter to be entered in the raffle for this, which I got through Bookish First. And I honestly, I can't remember what it was really about, but I am excited to start reading it because when I read that first chapter, I was really interested in it, and I was excited when I won the raffle copy to read. So that's all I'm reading. I am listening to the 4th book in the whiskey business mystery series called Dyed in the Wool. It's also on my Kindle. Yep, Dyed in the Wool by Melinda Mullet. This one it's not as good as the first 3, but it is still pretty good. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just not been my favorite in the series so far. I hope the next ones get better again, because I loved the first 3, and then I was excited that there was a 4th one, and then I was a little bit disappointed in the whole plot of it. But it is actually the second time I'm listening to it, so maybe it will be better. Probably not, but once I start a series, I go through the whole thing. So the last thing is I thought I would show you my box of Christmas socks. So it's in this box that I picked up at Michael's last year. So I have 9 pairs in here so far. And this pair was actually I knit some knee socks out of my 2017 Advent, or some of my 2017 Advent yarns. I didn't actually keep a full Advent calendar for myself. I just kept the scraps from when I made the minis for those calendars. So some of them didn't have nearly as much left. So what I did, I knit these 2 at a time, and whenever I ran out of one from one of the leftover balls, I then changed both of the yarns. So none of the stripes are the same. This pair is out of Fiber Addiction. My friend Emily owns that company, and this is a Grinch inspired colorway. I cannot remember the name because I lost the tag, and then a red and green, which I also actually I don't think I ever got a tag with that one. But I did these extra long so that and they're actually a little bit loose, so I wear these a lot of time. I will wear these as a second layer of socks because I do actually wear 2 pairs of socks a lot of days. So these will go well over another pair of socks on top of a pair of skinny jeans. And then this pair is out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts in the Angry Elf colorway. And then here's a pair of West Yorkshire Spinners in Fairy Lights. Oh, I had actually finished another pair of socks out of Fairy Lights a couple weeks ago that I didn't show, that I had put red heels and toes in. I made those for my mom, and she's already been wearing those quite a bit. This pair is out of the Cozy Knitter in the Gingerbread House colorway, and I use the Mistletoe Kisses pattern by Mina Phillip. And I will go through the rest of these on my next episode, but they are another Blue Moon Fiber Arts, Nomadic Yarns, and the Sugar Plum Sugar Plum colorway, another Cozy Knitter, and then these are my North Pole socks that I showed a couple weeks ago. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I am hoping to get another couple episodes up this year, but I maybe only one more, because I'll be traveling for Christmas. So I'll be leaving on the 21st for a week and a half, so I will be just enjoying a little bit of a Christmas vacation. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye.